the third video on the periodic table, and it's a pretty short video. We're going to really zoom in and look at the individual boxes of the elements on the periodic table. So I picked carbon. So in the box, in the center of the box, you will see the symbol for the element. Now, sometimes periodic tables will give you the name of the elements, but I don't want you to count on that. You should know the symbol C represents carbon. Above the symbol, the atomic symbol, is a number, and it's a whole number. And it's called the atomic number. And the symbol for atomic number is a capital letter Z. That comes from the German word Zahl, and a lot of the studies in chemistry came from German scientists, and so they just started numbering the elements, and so they called this atomic number the Zahl, the number that's up here. Now, what we found out is that that atomic number is actually equal to the number of protons that are in the nucleus of the atom of that element. Now, remember when we defined an element back at first week of school? We said an element was something where all the atoms were the same, or all the atoms had the same number of protons. Well, that number of protons in the nucleus of the atom is equal to the atomic number. So a lot of people define atomic number simply as the number of protons in a nucleus. So for carbon, the atomic number is 6, and there are 6 protons in the nucleus of every single carbon atom. If there's not 6 protons in the nucleus, then it's not carbon. The number below the symbol is called the atomic mass. You may hear it called atomic weight, and it's generally not a whole number. And that's because it's a weighted average of all the different forms of carbon that are out there. And those different forms, and we're going to spend a lot of time talking about it, are called isotopes. So I would like you to know that this number is the atomic number, and that is the number of protons in the nucleus. The atomic mass is an average, and it's a weighted average of all the different forms of that element. The periodic table is arranged with, starting with number 1 for hydrogen, and then it goes in the order of atomic number. All right, let's just have a look at 2 special elements I just want to look at for a minute to review these concepts. These are the 2 elements that are liquids at room temperature. The only 2 elements that at room temperature exist as liquids. The first one is mercury, capital H, lowercase g. Its atomic number is 80, so it has 80 protons in its nucleus, and its atomic mass is 200.59. This also brings up a very important point. When you're writing the atomic symbol, the first letter is always capitalized. So for carbon, it just had 1 letter for the symbol. It was capital C. For mercury, it has 2 letters. The first one is capitalized, and the second one is always lowercase, and that's really important. The reason that that is important is, for instance, if we did a capital C and a capital O, that's a carbon atom and an oxygen atom. But if we wanted to represent cobalt, whose symbol is CO, we would have to make sure that we add a capital C and a lowercase o. So we really need to make sure that we're writing our letters clearly, where the first one's capitalized and the second one is lowercase. So mercury, the symbol is Hg, is a liquid at room temperature, and it is a metal. Okay, bromine is the other element that at room temperature is a liquid. It's actually amber in color, and it has an atomic number of 35. It's in the non-metal section, and we learned in the last video that this was in the halogen family. And its atomic weight is 79, or atomic mass is 79.90. Now notice I have these in blue. Some periodic tables get really fancy. So they put the liquids in blue, and then they have different colors for metals and the metalloids and all kinds of things. Every periodic table has different amounts of information on them. And so you just have to look at the key on the periodic table to tell you what they're trying to educate you about. However, what we're going to count on for our periodic table in this class will be, you'll always be given the atomic number, you'll always be given the atomic symbol, and the atomic mass. All right, have a good night.